Thanks for joining me for another episode of A Drink from Upstream. And I think this is episode 18, and I'm glad that you're tracking with me in this. If you're a part of City Point Church, or if you're following us online, you know that we're in the middle of a 5-week series called Shift, where I'm laying out a biblical theology on money and possessions. And we're about halfway through it, and really, I think, gaining some great insight from the Bible on this very important subject. Now, I was thinking about this passage of scripture from 1 Corinthians, and I just want to read it. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 13, and it's coming at the end of that kind of love passage where it's pretty common, pretty famous. Love, is patient and kind and isn't easily angered, all of that. And at the end of chapter 13, the last line says, "So now, faith, hope, and love abide." And then, of course, it says these three, but the greatest of these is love. But this idea of the NIV says these three remain, faith, hope, and love. But here in the ESV, I think better translation says these three things abide. And I started thinking about this as I was processing these three things, kind of critical parts of life: faith, hope, and love. Without faith, hope, and love, life is pretty tough, right? And so as I was thinking about that these things abide, there's a difference between them remaining, kind of like they exist, or whether they abide. And to abide here means to live. These three things live, and it's like really right where we live: faith, hope, and love. And I was thinking about it in this way. This is why we give. When we try to practice generosity, when we try to help other people in our giving, we do it in this way. We do it abiding in faith, hope, and love. So let me explain it to you as I was thinking through this. The idea first that we give in faith, we give faith here meaning we give in trust. We trust that we're being useful to God in our giving. We trust that we're honoring Him. We trust that we're meeting some need in a meaningful way. That's kind of that faith thing. And we're giving in faith because we recognize and have this notion that this is something that we're supposed to do as people of faith. When we think about hope, we give in hope, in this hope of a harvest. That we ourselves are sowing seed and believing that by sowing that seed, we're going to have a harvest ourselves. We have hope of, again, hope that we're being useful to God, that He's going to take what we're giving and that He's going to use it for His honor and for His glory. Again, hope that needs are being met. So we're wanting to be faithful. We're wanting to be hopeful, and we also give in love. And I do think that this still applies. The greatest of these is love. You give in faith and you give in hope, but you also, and most importantly, give in love. You give because you love God. You give because you love others and you're not selfish. You give because you love the mission of Christ, and you give because you have a love for eternity. You have a mind and a heart for not just this present age, but the age to come. And so I think that's a great way to kind of think about your giving. We've been dealing with this, as I said, as a church, talking about money and possessions and laying out a biblical theology, so we're able to see life through the lens of the Bible. We're able to think biblically in the way we think about our money and our possessions. But when we think about giving, this is a great way to think about this. I give in faith. I give to be faithful. I give in hope. And I give in love. And so I hope that's helpful for you today. God bless you. And there you go, another drink from Upstream.